he just said, he said, look at him. Is he any better than you? If he can do it, you can do it. And that was I drink a lot, man. And he just told me a bunch of silly sayings. So we saw our vacuum. We'd come in the morning at 8:30 in the morning, and we'd do these pep songs. We'd get pepped up to grab the $650 vacuum and go walk the streets of Bucks County, Jersey. $650 vacuum, 21% interest rate. And then each morning we would have to answer to James B. Marion. He'd bring us up front, McCann, what did you do? And he would chew, if I didn't do anything, he would chew me down. Like today, he'd probably go to jail or have a violation or something. So you wanted to please James B. Marion because he didn't degrade you, but he inspired you to go out. So he taught me a lot of things. And my kids know it today, they're tired of hearing of it, and people that know me know it today, but he just taught me silly things. But if you believe, you can achieve. And I believed from when I was little, and then was reinforced with James B. Marion, that I was not going to stay in my same circumstances. And I grew up with a loving family, but there wasn't a whole lot of money in the house. And I knew at a young age that I wanted to be more than that. And I didn't know what I wanted to do. That was my big thing. And I came into real estate, and real estate allowed me to grow. And no one would ever hire me. I could never get a job. Back in with a baby boom, you could not get a job. I always had to work by myself. But so James B. Marion told me a few things, and I did that. Can't means won't. Oh, I can't do that. That means you won't do it, McCann. Never, never, never give up. The harder you work, the luckier you get. So, and sometimes I'll wake up in the morning and come down to my kids. I go, boy, do I feel great. I sing my Kirby songs in the morning to my kids, drive me crazy. But that's how I am. That's how I am. Every morning I wake up. I'm a creature of habit. I'm grateful every single day. I'm grateful that I'm here. I'm grateful that I'm healthy. I'm grateful for basic things. So having gratitude has really allowed me to enjoy my life. It's one thing, I'm this successful real estate guy, but success is making a living and providing for your family is so important. And that's why I got in real estate. But having health, having a happy family is even more important. So, and I love the Keller thing when I got to learn some of the Keller thing. And believe me, I was, we used to make fun of Keller, we used to make fun, we weren't coming here, I did always respect the growth of Keller, but we would make fun, drinking the Kool-Aid and the Ponzi scheme, stuff like that, we did. And I'll get into why I made a switch after 27 years, because that was really brutal for me, because that was my family. I like to develop long-term relationships. It's one of the reasons for my continued success every year. But let me just get back to gratitude. I am grateful. I talk to God in the shower every morning. I thank God every day for the heat in my house, for food, for the health and well-being of my family. And then I get out, and then I get out and I come to work. When I was brand new or today, I have my first appointment at 9 o'clock. I'm dressed, ready, and in the office or on an appointment at 9 o'clock in the morning. Very consistent. So people could say, it's easy for you because you're this thing, but I came from nothing. No one gave me anything. I didn't live in this marketplace. I felt inferior, but what I did was I just watched what the other top agents were doing. Alan Dom back in the day was one of the top guys in America. Took classes at Temple, Alan Dom. I mean, he taught me a great thing. He said, prepare the day before for that upcoming day. I mean, right down to having your clothes prepared. So when I go home at night, I unload my stuff, make the coffee for my wife and I for the morning, put my stuff away, pick my clothes out, and then I'll come out and chill out with my wife for an hour or two and watch Netflix or talk to her or something like that. But my day is already, I have everything for the next day planned. And I wake up in the morning and my quality time, again, I'm a creature of habit. And developing good habits, I think, is really, really critical. From if you're brand new or not, but I have quality times with my wife in the morning. We have a pot of coffee in bed. I get up, I take a quick hot tub, take my shower, talk to God, get going, okay? And then I'm working, and pretty much up until 8, 9, you know, I'm working. I mean, if any of you ever needed anything, email me at 11 and I'll respond to you. That's just how I am. I love this business. I love helping people. I love helping my clients. So the key thing that I learned early on was, wow, this is a relationship business. So I thought, this person sells, this person, there's a listing agent, they're selling. I want to have the best reputation among the real estate community. I want to be the most educated so I can help the most people, not just agents, but also my clients. Having education gives you confidence. We are confidence builders. I mean, you know, buyers are scared to death. Sellers are scared to death. Excuse me. I don't know why we drive out there. Too many minutes, I think. So the more you learn, the more confidence you can give your people. And no, like, I can't tell you, I mean, I'll go on an appointment, someone will call me. I sold them a home 20 years ago. They'll call me. Remember, I was on one, I brought Ryan, my son, with me, and we go in, I said, hey, I sold this guy a house back in like 93 or something like that. So we go in, and he's telling my son all about how great I am and how great. I haven't spoken to this guy for 25 years, but I was such a big impact in his life, telling him, you can, I forget his name now, Mark, I think it was, Mark, you can do this. This is your monthly payment. We'll get it inspected. Trust me, it's you got to buy. And then not convincing them, but educating him to make that right decision. And they thanked me. Very rarely in my career has anyone ever said, oh, you sold me that place or you sold that for me. They thanked me. I'm a very important person in people's lives. I value that big time. So I wanted to, early on in my career, and you know, the first year or two is brutal. I mean, I worked at the Hilton from 5:30 in the morning till 10:30 to make money. I worked weekends, nights, so I could make money and carry myself the first year or two in real estate because it was brutal. And I would do real estate in the afternoon and the evening. So I'm at this new company, no training, no support, no nothing, learning myself. But by 1988, I was only 2.5 years in the business, I sold 90 properties myself. Not one assistant. Average price about $43,000. So it was $3.5 million in business, 90 transactions, you know, working from 10:30 in the morning till midnight. The business is so much easier today. You know, when the internet came on, everybody was freaked out. Oh, they're going to take our business away. We're going to go the way of a travel agent. They won't need us. The internet has, because I was around before the internet. I was around before the MLS was even on a computer. They didn't have computers. The fax wasn't even around. I know freaking dinosaurs. But you know what? I love the energy of this business. I love this business. So the internet came and made it easier. We used to have to take people out multiple times. Now the clients know more than a lot of the agents, but our role has actually increased. So what we have to become is, they need us more than ever, but they do their own research, so they know a lot of us. So, but in 1990, I mean, in 1988, I did 90 transactions. The #1 agent in transactions. Barbara Greenfield from Greenfield she did $5 million. That was the #1 in in GCI in the city, $5 million. You know, now, you know, agents do $5 million the first year, but some do, some don't. But the business is so much easier today. It cracks me up. And back then, we got paid 50% commissions. I mean, I did 90 deals. I got 50% commissions. So I became the most educated, worked hard. Then, you know, about 89, 90, I'm just working like crazy. My wife says, okay, I'm sales. I love people. I love being out there. I still love it today. My wife helped me organize. She said, I'm sales, she's details. So she started a checklist for me. Okay, Mike, I'm gonna help you out. When you have an agreement of sale, she made me a checklist. When you have a listing, a checklist. When you want to market, a checklist. And what I did, and my way to get into business, because no one knew of Stephen Glass Real Estate, I was competing with Jackson Cross and Merrill Lynch at the time and a bunch of other companies, was I was great at expires. I would go to listings that didn't sell. I would mail, knock on the door, call, and get those listings. And then I would figure out ways to sell those. And then I would work off of that. And if I sold that property, we'd walk up and down the street handing out flyers. I couldn't afford, you know, mail at the time. So I grew my business from expired and then from personal referrals. It's a relationship business. You can talk about technology. One of the reasons I came to KW is because, to me, Gary Keller is a realtor, investing in realtors, so we remain the dominant force in real estate. And that's one of the reasons why I came to Keller, because it'd be just like my team. My team is like my family to me, so it's grown much bigger than I ever wanted, but it's a family. It's very important. Very proud that half my agents been with me between 10 and 20 years. My assistant's been with me a long time. I say I hire for life. I like to develop long-term relationships with my clients, with my team, with my friendships. The reason I came to Keller was because, like, if someone was trying to take my place or take my team, I would do anything so that my team's, I work harder, smarter, invest more so my team stays number one. That's what I was watching blogs in the summer of Gary Keller on the Fourth Industrial Revolution. And I'm like, you know what? He is me with a big company. I'm this, little guy with this team. And that's why, so I bought into that. Because he's invested $1 billion in artificial intelligence. And I believe artificial intelligence is going to change the industry the way that the internet changed the industry. But there's going to be still a dominant role for realtors. We are not going anywhere. In good times, people come and go, discount companies come in, agents come and go. I've been through 3 up and down market cycles. I was in the business in 89, 90. They changed the tax laws, the Reagan tax reform act changed the tax laws, and the market collapsed, and things dropped 30, 40%. Every major firm in Center City closed up. The market was horrible. What did I do? I just spent more, worked harder, and then stayed in the business, and my business continued to go up. I think every year in my 33 years, I probably had maybe 3 years where I did a little bit less. The industry needs us more than ever. If you're a new agent, I don't want to lose, how much time do I have here?
3 or 4 minutes, we're open to questions.
Okay, that's good, that's good. So the thing is I am not smarter, I am not better looking, I am not anything than any of you in here. You have to have a passion for this business. If you don't have a passion, it's not happening. If you don't love what you do, it's not happening. If you don't love every person in this room, it's not happening. I mean, listen, if someone is mean to me or hurts one of my people, I'm tough as nails, don't get me wrong, but my immediate instinct is to cooperate, to help. None of you are competition. I want everybody to grow. So we might compete, Noah and I might compete on a listing. If he gets it, that's great. I'll be PO'd, but that's not going to affect me. There's plenty of business for everyone. That's what I learned early on. I have coached top producers that aren't on my team. I help my team. So sharing and growing is the best thing. There are no limits to you if you believe. It takes a while to establish this business, but you have to do 3 or 4 consistent things. We'll go to questions, but just a couple things. So I have to make sure I was saying, patient persistence overcomes resistance. When I'm doing a transaction, sometimes I'll deal with it, and then I'll back off. I can't be the one that wants the deal more than the other agent, the buyer, or the seller. I'll give them information, I'll back off. Also, it's a business of scripts. I blind CC my agents a lot to try to give them scripts, because today everybody gives these short yes, no, or short things like, I explain everything. Here's an offer, and I'll go on, I just did one before I walked in here. Yeah, I'm presenting an offer to a seller, and I go on to my script. The offer came in about 8% less than asking price. Yeah, here's an offer. I'll give them a summary of the terms. I'll say most offers come in 5 to 10% less than asking price. Most transactions close 3 to 7% less than asking price. This is 7% less than asking price. Let's go back to the counter offer or all the other terms and conditions. So I'm starting to precondition. When I close the deal, I'll say, oh, don't thank me yet. We have to get past the home inspection. And I'll go on. And it's not done, but I precondition, I explain, and I do it on every deal. Just because I did 10,000 doesn't mean I don't have to do it. I'm only as good as my current deal. So learn your scripts. Only stay around positive people. Anybody's negative, how you doing? Nice to see you. I gotta go. I'm just telling you. Believe in yourself. Patient persistence overcomes resistance. Never, never give up. If he, she can do it, I can do it. Can't means won't. The harder you work, / smarter, the luckier you get, and have appointments. James McCann would tell, at the end of the week, he said, Mike, what's your average deal? Sorry, what's your average, I closed every 2.5 people's house I got in, I made a sale. So Mike, if you want 3 sales, get in 9 houses. You might not sell the first 9. You might go 9 in a row. The next 3 you're going to pop. The averages don't lie. I try to say to my agents, look at your week, and how many appointments did you have? Oh, it's 100 bucks. You had 2, you're out for 4 hours all week. Like, get in front of people. The first contact I get, when are you typically available? Morning, afternoon, or evening. They respond. And I'm looking at my schedule. Okay, and then I set up the time. Get in front of the people, develop the relationships. Okay, so questions?
Good. All right, got a question over there.
Yes.
Okay, thank you for being here, Mike, and thank you for coming to KW. We love having you. So I'm imagining a lot of people come to you for your advice, and I'm imagining a lot of people want to know what's getting in their way, and why aren't they being more successful? And I imagine that you probably see a thread, a common theme among other people, and there's probably a piece of advice or two that you'd say, if you just did this or got this mindset, you could go so much farther. And I'm just wondering if there's that one thing that you think that, just listen right now and hear this.
The key thing is opening your store and being in front of people. So there's a lot of distractions today with social media environment, people on Facebook and all this stuff. Get a brand new agent, you need to do open houses every Saturday and Sunday. You open your store. As they come in, people are signing in. You're developing your list, and you can go. Like, if I'm not doing open house, I'm a new agent with no business. What am I doing? I'm sitting here waiting for someone to call me? Well, no one knows you. Working and I'm guilty of it too. I don't work my past clients the way that I should. That's what we're focusing on as a team right now. So I can get off the drug of Zillow and Trilly and Realtor.com. That's my goal. I mean, and then developing a few things like some basic things. I sell a property, I get 100 postcards just sold. Again, Facebook was great. In 08, they're like, you gotta get on Facebook. I'm like, not another freaking thing. Like, this is crazy. By 2010, I got on Facebook, and I get tons of business from that. Going to events, I got involved with the Board of Realtors, getting known by people. I get a ton of referrals from outside of the marketplace. I'll bet you 20–30% of my business is from people, oh, call Mike McCann, he's in Center City. That's developed over time. We would, at the other company, they would have these breakfasts once a month. I would send them a handwritten note, great to see you at that breakfast, so they thought of me. So the bottom line is, if I'm a brand new agent, getting appointments. If I'm an agent that's doing $2 to $3 million, then I want to get my first assistant. You don't need to build a team. I had 2 full-time assistants before I hired my first buyer's agent. I was one of the first ones to hire a buyer's agent. And how I got an assistant was I put 3 months of pay in the bank. And I hired somebody. And I said, I have 3 months of pay, I'm a commission salesperson, I have a wife and 3 kids. I'm like, I don't know if this is gonna work, and if it, but I only have 3 months of pay. And people said to me, Mike, you're a control freak, you'll never be able to turn everything over. I went from the king of control to the king of delegation. Yet I'm involved in everything. I still am the front door, but I have great support team. So hire an assistant if you're a $2 to $3 million person, save 3 months of pay. Today I hire differently. Instead of just somebody who I like, I use Lindsay. She actually works out of Westchester. It's a recruiting company that's been very good. So, and then I always say, everybody heard of that company called Nike? What's their saying?
A question in the back?
Yes.
Mike, so I agree this business has many great people, realtors, clients, but let's talk about the other side. This business has many not great people, and you find yourself dealing with a client or another realtor on the other side who's challenging, their personality is getting in their way, they're getting negative and they have other preset notions about this business. Things are getting ugly, not to get into specifics. 2 questions. How do you handle those situations in general? How do you let it not heat up? And where do you draw the line?
Listen, some of the most difficult agents I have relationships with. It's tone, how you talk to people. It's what you say to people. And so I'm a verbal, but I'm also a follow-up or on email or text. And in this business, listen, if everybody, you know when you're doing a deal with another good agent, it's beautiful. Yeah, it's wonderful. I mean, it's just great. So many times, especially today, there's so many agents that don't. I worked real hard to get an offer. They don't know how to close it, even though it's a great offer. They can't communicate, or they think they know something. I try to. I never give everything totally away, but I try to create a sense of purpose and urgency and empathy. Empathy is probably one of the biggest things also besides gratitude, empathy. Empathizing. So you never know what someone's real life is until you're actually in their shoes. You can have a perception of my life, or I can have a perception of your life. So just having patience and empathy, and then work, and then sometimes I'll just back off and say, okay, thanks. They're probably going to go with something else. I appreciate your efforts. Hopefully we'll do another deal soon. You know, and I'm like, oh, well, yeah, and then maybe they'll come back to me, you know. I try to be, I just try to develop the relationship. Okay, sometimes I hang the phone up and, you know, I'll say every foul word that's in the vocabulary to myself. Like, you know, unbelievable. My wife will hear me, you know, or something. Mike, stop that. But you know, but meanwhile, I'm doing it because my goal is to try to satisfy my client, make my client happy. Somebody unethical, I'm out of there, man. I will call that. That's the one thing. I mean, I've chaired professional standards, the code of ethics. I am really big on complying with everything. I've walked away from transactions where people want to do under second mortgages under the table. I'm not involved. Ethics is the key thing. You're only as good as your reputation. So you just got to be patient and persistent and educational and have empathy and have good tone. And even if you are angry, not convey that. And then think about it, and then maybe come back. And I'll pick away at it. Yes, that's true.
How do you set goals?
I said, it's fun, I'm probably not the best for that. You guys are all better, and I'm learning so much here, but my goals are just always inside, like when I was a little kid, I wanted to be a millionaire. And in school projects, they would say, what are you going to be? I'm going to be a millionaire. What are you going to do? I don't know. What am I doing? Honestly. So my goal is to compare myself with myself. So some of my friends who I grew up with, I'm this big success, but to Gary Keller, I'm a friggin' loser. So you compare yourself with yourself. And that's what so I want to do better every year. I want to have my relationships be a little bit better. My clients, I want to grow personally a little bit better every year. Business, family, and friends and relationships. So I don't say, I want to do 850 this year. I just know I want to do better. I want my people to do better. I want things to get better along. So I really don't, man. I'm sorry. But it's how, when I wake up in the morning,
So Alan Dobbs asked him what his strategy was in terms of development. And he said buy really good for investing. He said buy really good locations and buy on 15-year notes. What has been your personal investment strategy, and how has that changed over your career?
That's a great one. So I'm 88, 89. I get a phone call. This guy down at 3rd and Federal. He's got jeans and sneaks and a dirty undershirt. He wants to buy this house. It's 30 grand. Then I don't know. I'm like, this guy's not buying anything. He ends up buying it. I end up meeting the guy. He said, yeah, I'm gonna take you on my boat, Mike. I said, okay, great. Go down to Chesapeake. He's got a yacht the size of this friggin' building. The dude's like 40 years old. He's not working anymore. He started buying little homes in Pensport and Passyunk Square for $20,000, $25,000. Back then, rents were only $400, $350, and 15-year loans, 10 or 15-year loans, and he's there. I started buying, and he said, I buy in blue-collar neighborhoods because the people stay. He said, I could buy the fancy stuff. So about 88 was when I bought my first one. So my goal was to have 50 properties, have 15-year loans, and have them paid off by the time I was 50, so I could retire if I chose to. And that goal, that goal did happen. So I would buy 1 or 2 a year. So funny. So at 88, I bought 2, and then with a partner in 89, we bought some, and then 90, the market collapsed. So we had 70 into it. It was worth 40, and I would say to my wife, oh my gosh, our generation's losing money in real estate, you know. But then by 2000, it went up, and then, you know, now it's worth 600-700% more. So Alan Dom always said, you make money selling real estate, you build wealth owning real estate. And that I totally believe in. So most of my stuff is blue collar, on upwardly mobile areas. You know what I mean? So I own Green Village, Pensacola, Passion, that type of stuff. That's what I like.
You haven't started increasing your scale and trying to do more units? Scale.
I have enough, yeah. I mean, I still buy one a year maybe, but that's, no, I like houses. I do have a bunch of multi-units. Wonderful, I like houses, I have one tenant just left after 20 years. I think I paid $48,000 for the house in '93. I just cleaned it up and just sold it for $275. You know, like, he bought that house for me multiple times, you know. My rents are low. Because a lot of my I have tenants with me 10 years. So I like to, as long as it's carrying itself, making a little bit, I don't need the income. It's for long-term building. Paying them off, I don't refinance and take the money, unless you're doing a bigger project. And I say to people, maybe my mind's too small from where I came from, but I'm not doing massive developments. I'm buying 1 or 2 houses a year, renting them out, and that's worked great for me. In good markets, I'll sell some of them, like in 5, 6, 7, I sold a couple and made 300-400%, and I sell 1 or 2 now. So that's the other thing. Investing in real estate is incredible, but you have to have that down payment money. And I had partners early on, which didn't work out, and then later I could do it myself. Yes.
It sounds obvious that you have to keep your passion for your whole career, but over the years, have you had to adjust your why, or does it stay the same?
Adjust my what?
Adjust your big why.
My big why. It's shifted. So it went from barely qualifying for a $43,000 house when I first got in real estate, having $10,000 in credit card debt, 20%, to building wealth, and then enjoying that, and then helping family and helping people. And now it's about trying to grow people, trying to grow my team. So that's really one of my purposes. I love watching people be successful, so giving back. You know, financially, I could have quit a long time ago and sailed away. And I don't say that to boast, but because it's beyond my wildest. And it's not from I was lucky, because I came from nothing. And 20 years ago, I couldn't have been able to speak in front of you guys. I didn't have the confidence that I have today. I was always underestimated when I was a kid growing up, so I was always never picked on the football team, so I always had to work harder. So one blessing I had was never given anything, so everything I ever earned, I appreciated. I had great value. So, no, I have a passion every day, man. It's like, yeah. Sometimes I wish I did, like, I wish I could take 3 days off without being involved.
Mike, thanks for your comments. How do you infuse your team members with the enthusiasm that you have? What are your top tips on motivating teams?
Yeah, I do only recruit, or not recruit, or hire people that have my same ethics, my same, they have a need to provide a living and to work, and they have, so hiring who you want should be the same chemistry. Family and team is important. Who's going to fit in? I mean, I get $25 million producers that want to join my team. Most of the people I hire are 0 to 1 year in the business. I've been growing them, helping them be successful. But hiring people that are going to mesh with my team. That is the one thing that, you know, I'm really proud of. I say it's like that song Hotel California. It's a lovely place and you can never leave. That's my team. And then I take care of them. And I try to give more than what I receive. So one thing, you know, the more you give, the more you receive. And I always say, with my team, I call it 1 and 1 is 3. You know, you could do it yourself. You don't need me, I don't need you. But together, we're not 2, we're 3. So I try to give more. Positive attitude people, hardworking people, people that need to succeed, people that are grateful, people that, you know, core family, whatever that family is. So we have to have fun, and you have to have fun, man. I am the silliest, like, I am the most serious person, but I am the silliest person going. I like to laugh, I like to have fun, I like to hug people, I like to, you know, anyway. Yeah.
Mike,
Johnny Vick.
how'd you transition from a control freak to the king of delegation?
Well, okay, so after I hired that, I became a control freak, because, and Alan Dom said this, and this is my temple classes back before the internet. He said, if you don't have an assistant, you are the assistant. You can pay somebody less. I mean, if you can pay somebody to do something, if you figure out what your hourly wage is, if you can pay someone less to do it, you should do that. The results, again, I don't, hiring good people to help support me. So I am the front line. If you do a deal with me, you're dealing with me. You know, I have 6, 7 assistants right now. They're my support people. So I might delegate a million things, but everything comes through me. So I am delegating that. I'm the king of delegate. Everybody that shows one of my properties, I read that feedback, and then I send it to the seller. So I'm still engaged because I love the business. I deal with the home inspections, but I have great support people. Having a good assistant, and then another assistant took me to doing the things that I don't have to do, like doing mailings, like doing postings, like I said, like following up.
So more the broad-based stuff?
Okay.
Like, so my question is,
Sorry.
like, when it comes to providing feedback to your sellers, sending a follow-up note, your strips that you send out, I mean, are you doing those
I do.
task-oriented things?
I do
You
that.
still are
because-
doing those?
Because that keeps me in control of the market.
Yeah.
Like, if I'm getting the feedback, I need to know what it is so I can then advise the seller, you know what, we need to paint this basement, we need to clean this up.
And for the next one?
Yeah, that's the other thing. I am not just the sales guy. I am their resource. So you have to develop relationships in this business. And one of the reasons anybody that's done a deal with me normally will love to do a deal with me is my deals go through. Because I have incredible support. You give me that home inspection, the list is that long, sellers will freak out. But I said, chillax, my guy's going through, he's going to cut that, the home inspector said it's 15 grand, it's going to be $2,200. So having resources. I go to a house, we gotta really clean this up. I can have a painter come in, I can have a cleaner come in. And my vendors jump for me because pretty much they're working for 3, 4, 5 jobs a week for me on every job. So developing relationships. People say, who do I do for finance? Having great finance. Mike, I needed an attorney. Having great attorneys who I developed a relationship with. The biggest thing in our business is going in, helping them get that property prepped to sell it faster, easier, dealing with the home inspection, having those vendors to do that. And I have people that, you know, that jump for me, and that's really, really important. So king of delegating, yeah, so I like that part. So if I'm going on a listing, I'll talk to that person, I'll get the address, and then I'll say, okay, and I'll email or text or call, I'll say, you know, do comps on 100 Pine Street, do between 7 and 9, and they'll prepare all my comps, my listing booklet. So I'll walk in the office and I'll have my listing booklet prepared. Then I can glance through it before I'm walking in the house and show up. Yeah. Yes, agreement of sale comes in, someone will review it, one of those people in this room right now, they'll review the agreement for sale, they'll send it to my seller from my email with a summary. I don't even have to read each page because my assistant's been doing it for me for a long time. And a summary, and I'll maybe have a note, and then the seller will respond. So that's efficiency to me. I'll come out of my next appointment. And anyone that knows me, I'm 2 minutes to 2 hours from responding. That's the way people are like, how do you do it? It's got to be somebody else. It is me who's doing that all the time. Again,
You check your own
I
email?
I do. Of course, yes. I
I
do.
know, I get that question.
Yeah, all the time, and it's me. Yeah, I mean, there'll be very, very rare times, but there's times. So, okay, next question. Sorry.
So we're a couple minutes away from getting to the next session. What was a couple things you guys learned from Mike in about 3 or 4 minutes? Was curious what you guys got out of this. Who would like to volunteer something you got out of it?
I can leave the room. We can trash me.
Jake raised his hand. What's up?
Patient persistence overcomes resistance.
Yes, it used to be persistence overcomes resistance, and in this environment, I would say it's patient persistence. It's the greatest business in the world. If you wake up believing that every day, and that I'm going to have a great day, I'm telling you, I'm going to have a great day. Nothing's going to stop me from having a great day. You had a horrible deal just fall apart, okay? Compartmentalize that. Next phone call, man, don't think about that again. Maybe that night, maybe the next day, you might come back at that deal. So that's what, you can't get, you ever see an agent walk around for next week, they lose all their business because they lost $1 million sale or whatever.
John, you had a question, something you learned you want to share?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Reputation, ethics, and gratitude equals success. That's what I heard from Mike.
Unless you raise your hand.
Compare yourself with yourself. A lot of times you compare yourself with others, and you look at what other people are doing. So I thought that was a good one.
Can you say that loud? I thought that was
Yeah.
fantastic.
Compare yourself with yourself, as long as you're wanting to be a better you and working on a better you, and not focusing on everyone else.
We might not admit it, but we go on Facebook, we look at other people's lives, you guys agree? Then you meet this person, you meet their life, and you're like, wait, this was as cool as I thought it was, right? Fair? Mine's the only one who doesn't. It's only you, Jeremy.
And get in front of people. That's where your time needs to be spent. Yeah. I love Facebook. I got to know so many people. People got to know me, but I can't spend 3 hours a day on Facebook. You know what I mean? I'll go on sometime, 10 to 20 minutes. I'll go, and then I'll go.
All right, so everybody give a round of applause for Mike. All right, Mike, thanks, man. So, first session is going to be how to rock your first year in real estate. You're going to follow Mr. Beautiful Jesse Barnes upstairs, Dave Snyder's office. Master your listing presentation, you're going to meet me over there. And new construction, you're in here.
Better. Like this is about to go. Jeremy.
Yeah, that's gonna come.
Can I grab this for you?
Yes, thank you.
Someone's gonna.
Yeah, thank you. Don't need to break this thing.